What's up, you guys? Welcome back. Today I'm super excited because we're gonna be doing a full face of new e.l.f. products. e.l.f. has come out with a bunch of newness recently. Some of these things I've reviewed shortly in other videos. Some of them are brand new to me. I've never tried them. They just came out. So they've had so many new releases that I was just like, you know what? Let me just do a full face of where I can try everything. So then if you're looking and you're like, okay, what of this new stuff should I be getting? You can come to this video and figure it out. You know what I mean? Like, let's just try it all together and do a full face. So that's what we're gonna do today. I love e.l.f. I feel like they make really good products at great prices, but that doesn't mean that every single thing from them is a hit, you know? So let's see. Make sure you guys subscribe to my channel if you have not already and click the little bell right next to the subscribe button so you'll be notified of all my future uploads. And without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Okay, first things first is their bronzing drops. I actually already have these on my face in the rose gold shade. So this is like the more pinky shade. I feel like with my skin tone, this one goes a little bit better for me. I just mix it in with my morning moisturizer. So I do already have that on my skin. It helps to match my face a little bit better to my body because my face is always a lot lighter. I'll go in with a little bit more because why not? I will say I've played around with these for quite some time. In the beginning, I just used them on their own. Now I do like them better when mixed in with a little bit of moisturizer. I think in the end that gives a more seamless finish, so I'm just mixing them in with some moisturizer and we'll go in with a little extra because you can never be bronzy enough, you know, and this has been on my skin for like a really long time actually, so. But I do really like these and price point is great. They're $8 I believe, so a lot cheaper than like the Drunk Elephant ones. They can look a little patchy at times if you don't like thoroughly blend them. I'm just using my fingers and we're gonna go over it with foundation anyways, but if you're wearing it as the only product in your face, I would really go in and try and blend it out. It can get a little patchy if it's not thoroughly blended. I think that happens a lot of times with bronze drops because they're giving a tint to the skin without any coverage, where we're used to seeing like tints with some semblance of coverage, so it helps to smooth the skin at the same time, where this doesn't really do that. But either way, I like these. But wanted to mention that before we jumped in with the new stuff since I already had it on my face. Now, we're gonna go in with primer. In an ideal world, I guess you would technically want to put primer on before, but that doesn't make a ton of sense because bronze drops are supposed to be added to like your skincare. So we're gonna put the primer on top and hopefully it doesn't like remove it, we'll see. But this is the e.l.f. Jelly Pop Dew Primer. Now, this came out a couple years ago. It was like a fan favorite. People loved it, but it was only limited edition, so they got rid of it. They brought it back. They did bring it back with a lip oil, which is super exciting. And I've tried this and it's absolutely beautiful. But let's go in with the Dew Primer on our skin. This is what it looks like. It's like a jelly kind of texture. It's very similar to their Hydra Grip Primer, I think is what it's called. It's like the one that's the dupe for the Milk Makeup one that's really sticky, except this one is a little less sticky, so I actually prefer this one to that. But I do believe even though they brought it back now, it's still limited edition. So if you want it, get it now before they remove it again. I wish they would just make it a permanent product in the line, but actually when you tap it in with your fingers, went on okay on top of the bronzing drop, so that's nice. Helps to hydrate and plump the skin and also just give us a canvas to work on top of with our foundation. If I sound like I'm out of breath, it's because I feel like I am. I need to like, I'm 35 weeks pregnant currently, so everything has me out of breath, like putting on primer. Why am I huffing and puffing? I don't know. Oh, what is happening with my lip oil there? That's not cute. Let's get rid of that. And it's also like 95 degrees outside. I feel like I am so swollen and like retaining so much water. I'm like, whew, but not too much left to go. So, you know, I can't complain. Anywho. Up next, let's jump into the new foundation. So this is the e.l.f. Soft Glam Satin Foundation. I did do a first impressions and full day wear test with this when it first came out. So if you want a super in-depth review, I can link that down below. But this is basically like a follow-up to that because first impressions can only show so much. Obviously, you're trying a product for the first time, where now I've gotten to use it for quite a few weeks and really come up with my thoughts on it. I have shade Medium Cool 34, Medium Cool to be exact. I'm gonna just apply to one side of my face so I can show you guys the difference. I have really been loving blending out my foundations recently with a sponge, but when it comes to this foundation, I actually think it blends best with some sort of blender. It adds a little bit more like hydration to the skin and helps it spread a little bit easier, because although this foundation does claim to be hydrating, I wouldn't consider it hydrating. It's definitely more of like a matte finish on the skin, but the coverage it gives is incredible. The lasting power is great. It looks great on the skin all day long, and this is also like, I believe $8, which for a drugstore foundation is crazy because some of these drugstore brands are charging like $20 for a foundation, where this gives us coverage, smoothness, all that for $8. Like, looks really, really good. So I have been loving it. That's really the update. This is a really great drugstore foundation, like one of the best I think that we've seen come out in quite some time. And definitely my favorite complexion product that e.l.f. has come out with. Besides Halo Glow, if we're gonna consider that a foundation, I still feel like that still has my heart. I do love that, but if we're not considering that a foundation, this is like my favorite true foundation from e.l.f. Really, really good. Blends super easily, great coverage. And like I said, not hydrating, but not drying either. I don't find it drying on the skin. I just do like to apply it best with a damp sponge. And with this foundation too, it has a true satin finish. Not gonna leave any luminosity or anything to the skin. It doesn't need to be set, although I typically do set it. I'm just gonna go in with a little bit of concealer underneath these eyes before we go in, and I will set with a little bit of powder because I do typically always use a powder just to set my face. I feel like it always helps with longevity. And this foundation does stay like a little bit tacky, like it never fully dries down. I feel like you always have a little bit of stickiness to it. Not stickiness, but just like it never fully dries down, almost like a wetness. So that's why I like to make sure that I do go in and just set it with a little bit of powder. It doesn't take a lot, but that helps to take away any of the like wet feeling that's kind of left over from the foundation. So I'm just gonna set the face with a little bit of translucent powder. Alrighty, up next we're gonna go in with a brand new product. I have not tried this one yet. This is the e.l.f. Brow Laminating Gel. So I think this is basically supposed to be like a dupe for the Refi brow gel, which I do really like, but it is obviously pretty pricey. I ordered this one off of Amazon. Actually, just kidding. I ordered it off Ulta. It was $8. So let's see. I love me a good brow gel, and I feel like I go through them quickly. So when they're affordable, that's great. So this is what makes it kind of very similar to the Refi one. How do I get this off? Oh. There we go. It has this like kind of special brush and spoolie on the other side. I like to use it before I go in with the brow gel to get my brows in place, or you can also use it after, once the gel is on, to really get your brows in a position that you want them to be in and sculpt and mold them. But you kind of have like a comb on one side and a brush on the other, so both options working pretty well on the brows. Now, before I go in with the brow gel itself, I am gonna just do a baseline underneath my brow. This is also somewhat newer from e.l.f. This is their Instant Lift Waterproof Brow Pencil. I have this in shade Taupe. I actually really like this, especially for summer. Like if you're looking for something waterproof, this is nice. So I'm just gonna go in and draw a baseline so we have something to work off of. Okay, now let's jump in with the actual brow gel. So looks like this. Spoolie is a good size. It's not too small, not too big. I feel like it's like coated on the spoolie, but like nothing's coming off. I'm gonna go like this. Sometimes that works better. Where you like take what's on the edge and like run it through the brow and then go with the spoolie and get your brows how you want them to be in place. Oh, this is looking pretty good. It's working well, like definitely picking up the brows, putting them exactly where I want them to be. I wanna see like as it dries, if it makes the brows any sort of funky color, because sometimes that can happen, especially when the product is like white, like this one is. Like sometimes brow gels are clear, but this one's white, so it can like kind of change the color of the brow hairs. Let's see, it's actually looking pretty good. Made them like a little bit lighter, obviously, but I don't mind it. I'm gonna let it fully dry. That's actually why I like to use brow gel in the middle. Like I'll go in with a pencil, do a baseline, then go in with brow gel, and then I finish off with either a pencil or a marker and go in like for that final color. I like to kind of use the brow gel as a second step rather than as like a middle step. Then a lot of people end with brow gel, but that's just how I like to do it best. It definitely laid these brows though, like they are not moving whatsoever at all. So I do like that, but will give a slight white cast. I'm gonna go in now like I normally do and just feather in my brow hair. And when I do this, I feel like you won't even notice the white cast and they'll look kind of like how they normally do. Okay, so definitely a good product. Like I will definitely continue to use this. Just want people to be aware that it's not 100% clear. It is gonna make your brows a little bit lighter. So do with that what you please. A lot of brow gels do that. Not gonna stop me from using it. It's really not bad. I've definitely tried many that are way worse, that like make the brows weird, funky colors and texture. I do really like how it laid these brows, and they do not seem like they are going to move at all. Like they are like literally plastered to my forehead right now, which is nice. So you know they're on there and they're not gonna move. Okay, and now let's go with some new blushes and bronzers. So these are really exciting. These are their primer infused matte bronzer and primer infused matte blush. So this formula has been out, like they had primer infused matte blushes, I believe in 2 different shades, and they had the bronzer, and I wanna say 1 or 2 shades, but they extended the range significantly. There's like 4 or 5 new colors in the blush and 4 or 5 new colors in the bronzer. So I got some new colors to try out with you guys. First, let's go in with the bronzer. This, I had my eye on. This is in the shade Sun Soaked because it's very warm toned, which is what I love in the summer. So better used to give like a bronzy sun-kissed look to the skin rather than like a chiseled kind of cool toned contour would do. But these are the kind of bronzers I really like in the summer. I'm just not sure if this might be a little too deep for me. We're gonna see, but definitely gives that beautiful warm tone, which kind of gives like just left the beach, little bronze, but also a little sunburnt. So let's go in and see. Okay, wait, no, this is literally perfect. Oh, so pretty. These were $8. These are the ones that I got on Amazon. And wow, I like this a lot. So it's a true matte, not gonna give any shine or luminosity to the skin, but this shade is so pretty. It's exactly like I was saying, like that in-between tan and a little bit burnt, like you just left the beach or Turks and Caicos or something. Oh, I love this. You don't need a lot of it. I just barely dipped my brush in there and it's giving us a great pigment. Oh, I like this a lot. So pretty. They have a bunch of other shades in this too. So if you don't want a more warm tone one and you want something that's more cool tone or more neutral, they did come out with a bunch of different shades. This was just the one that caught my eye that I really wanted to try and it did not disappoint. Love that. It's definitely gonna be a summer staple for me. Okay, now let's go in with the blush. This is shade Always Crushin'. Like I said, they did come out with quite a few new shades. This is just the one that caught my eye. This is what it looks like. Really pretty, like pink, almost with a little bit of berryness to it. I figured I could wear this in the summer and then also definitely bring this into the fall because it does have a little bit of those berry tones. It's not like a neon pink, which like typically would be something that I would keep for like the summer months. I'm gonna just dust this on. We have a lot of the bronzer on the cheek too, but ooh, these two together, so pretty. Love that these are like matte but blendable, and again, you don't need a lot. Very pigmented on their own. This shade is so pretty, and honestly, with the bronzer shade, I feel like that is the perfect like summer sun-kissed, but still has like pink on the cheeks. Oh, I love it. I love to over bronze and over blush, so I like a lot. Obviously you can use less if you're like doing this yourself at home, I understand. But I love it, bring it on the nose too. Super cute, these are really, really nice. And again, $8. So affordable and quite big too. Like these will last you quite some time. I don't have a new mascara, so I'm gonna go in with their lash extender. This is relatively new from them. Came out earlier this year and has been a favorite of mine. Definitely helps to give length and lift to the lashes. My lashes have definitely struggled in pregnancy because I stopped using my lash serum. And your lashes don't continue to grow so beautiful. Well, they do still continue to grow, but they don't grow as long as they did when I used my lash serum. So looking forward to being able to use that again once I can. But in the meantime, I need some good mascaras. You know what I mean? To get my lashes to look like how they were looking, because they were so long, like pre-pregnancy. And they did last a while into my pregnancy. I was surprised, like longer than I thought that they would. But they're back to their like short, kind of stubby, natural length now. But I can't complain because we got good mascaras to help. And this is definitely one of them. And it's great because it's at a drugstore price point. I like this and I like the e.l.f. Roller Lash. Those are my two faves from them. Okay, now for lips. I am so stoked about this. I cannot tell you the amount of times that my lips have gotten burnt because I put sunscreen on my face and then I don't put anything on my lips, or gosh forbid, you use a lip gloss and you go out in the sun. That is like the easiest way to fry your lips off. But e.l.f. came out with a Sun Boss gloss. So this is a lip gloss that has SPF in it. I was so excited when I saw this. I got this in shade Pink Me Girl. They came out with quite a few different shades in this. So this is SPF 25 in it, and it is mineral based, so it's a zinc oxide. So if you're pregnant like myself, pregnancy safe. I also just prefer like mineral sunscreens when it comes to my face. And yeah, this is called the Sun Boss Gloss. So you can basically have a beautiful glossy lip that you're not gonna fry your lips off. Oh, and this shade is so pretty, Joe. I wanted something that was gonna be natural, because like typically if I'm gonna be going outside, you know, to the pool, the beach, whatever, I'm gonna be wearing very minimal makeup. So they do have like some bold colors in this, but I went for one that was just like a more natural pink, so that even when I have like no makeup on, it's not gonna look, you know, like too much. Just gonna help to give me that protection. And wow, this is beautiful. Somehow does not taste or smell like bad. Like, because you'd think sunscreen on the lips, like, ooh, that's probably gonna taste or smell really bad. It has a little bit of like the sunscreen scent to it, but I think they did a good job. It kind of smells more like coconut to me than anything else. So I like that. It's not gonna like gross you out or anything when you go and put it on, and it's gonna help to protect the lips and have them look really nice. Because like the only other sunscreen I had for my lips was just like this clear chapstick, where now I can wear like a pretty little lip gloss. So I love that, and the shade is beautiful too. Like I would wear this not going to the beach or pool. Like I would just wear this as a regular lip gloss, plus you get that extra added SPF bonus. So I really like that as well. And this I also got at Ulta. Last but not least, just topping it off, I'm gonna go in with some of their Jelly Pop Glow Reviver lip oil. So this is what they brought out with the Jelly Pop Dew Primer. When they brought this back, they brought this out, and this is new. So I'm gonna go in with this over top. It's really pretty. I've been loving using this. Smells like watermelons. Like it smells so good and gives like the juiciest little pop to the lips. Oh, those two combined are beautiful. I don't know if layering the lip oil over the SPF might take away from the SPF. So if you're gonna go like in the pool or to the beach, maybe don't do this, but like for an everyday lip, these two together are beautiful. I live for that. Okay, so love that. And then last but not least, just gonna set everything in place with the Power Grip Dewy Setting Spray from them. This has such a light mist. I really, really like this. A newer relaunch this year from them as well. And although it says dewy mist, honestly, it doesn't change like the way that my skin looks or feels. It'll give you a little boost of hydration, but even if you have oily skin, like don't think that this is gonna make your skin like super glowy or something, because it doesn't really do that. Just kind of gives you a boost of hydration, sets the makeup in place, but isn't gonna change the way that the makeup really looks, which is what I personally like in a setting spray. So yeah, that is everything, you guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I will link everything down below in the description box to where you guys can get all these new releases. Again, some of them are like only in specific retailers right now because they're like brand new. And then as the summer keeps rolling out, we'll probably see them in more and more stores, but I'll link everything down below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you very soon in my next video. Bye.